Are we supposed to follow our king and remain as silent as he is?
You're talking about betraying your brother. You're talking about treason.
What I'm talking about is freedom. Freedom for all Inhumans.
Holy crap, everybody, they're releasing an Inhumans teaser already, so let's break this down. I'll also try to explain the crossover with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the other TV series, and the movies itself, because they did say it's connected to the MCU, but there's still a lot of questions. There's a Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy giveaway going on right now. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. It's for IMAX gift certificates. They released the teaser poster with the main cast yesterday. You have Gorgon, Karnak, Black Bolt himself, Medusa, Crystal, and Maximus. Now, the only people speaking in the trailer were Maximus speaking to Medusa, explaining what his plan is and going against Black Bolt. So it explains the drama of what Season 1's going to be. It's 8 episodes long, so it's closer to being a mini-series. But they said that there'd be a military coup. Now it sounds like it's going to be led by Maximus the Mat. So Black Bolt, the other royal family members, will be on the outside trying to retake Atalan by the end of the season. But other than wanting freedom for all Inhumans, we don't know much about what Maximus's plan is. He might just have some plan to take over the world. I think they'll try to do something that's a little more complicated and grounded than that, so we could see a more legit version of the Terrigen bomb. Usually that's the solution. You bomb the world with Terrigen gas, and the population of Earth is forced to deal with it. The Inhumans go from being this really weird group of outsiders to the majority. So they just did the big Inhumans versus X-Men arc. As we learn more about the plot, I'll talk about that, because Fox is doing an X-Men TV series, so Inhumans is going to exist by itself. It's not an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. crossover show. It's not a spin-off from that series either. That means you're not going to see any of the stuff that S.H.I.E.L.D. has been doing for the last 4 seasons, but the showrunner was kind of vague about whether or not there'd be any S.H.I.E.L.D. crossover. I think they're open to it if S.H.I.E.L.D. can survive. We'll talk about that in a second, about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. making it to Season 5. But what you're seeing beyond this text of the logo here in the background of this teaser is Atalan itself. One of the locations that they were filming was this giant crater, so it looks like that's going to serve as the crater on the moon where Atalan resides. There have been a couple different places it's existed in the comics. More recently, Atalan was blown up when Black Bolt detonated his Terrigen bomb at the end of the Infinity arc, but they built a new Atalan in New York City. That also got destroyed. So the Inhumans aren't doing so well in the comics right now, but we'll see where they pick up with them in the series. But you can see that they're obviously all adults. Black Bolt's already been king, so it'll be interesting to see how they weave in with the MCU, because it is connected to the MCU. So we'll see how they reference the stuff that's been happening in the movies. But I think just based on the core operating mission of the Inhumans, just keep to ourselves. They've been watching what's going on in the MCU, but when they see Ultron is trying to destroy the Earth, destroy the human race, they don't care about stuff like that, so they don't get involved. Obviously, that's changing now because it sounds like Maximus wants freedom for all Inhumans, so it's going to be a little harder to stay off the radar if he has some big takeover plan. But there are a couple big things that you do not see in this teaser picture here. You do not see Lockjaw. He's probably going to be mostly CG. That's probably why they didn't put him in here, but he's about this big standing next to the normal height people, so he is going to be huge. The other one is Triton. He's probably going to be a combination of CG and practical effects. And this human woman who'll be the audience surrogate, she's working in aerospace. It sounds like, based on her description, she finds Atalan on the moon because it's been cloaked this whole time and gets swept up in their big coup. And that's how the writers are going to teach all the people that haven't read comics, what all the specifics are, how their powers work, how their society works, what their history is. But let me know in the comments what kind of questions you guys have about Inhumans. I know the biggest question is how is this going to tie in with all the other stuff that's going on in the Marvel Universe, on the TV shows, the Netflix series, the movies. The pitch is that it's connected to everything, including the movies, just because it's so big and these are supposed to be A-list characters. I would say the Inhumans are closer to being B-list characters because they've been an analog of the X-Men and their comic book has never been as popular as X-Men's comic book. But now we know, based on all the filming they've done, this takes place in present day. It's not like a prequel or anything like that. So just assume that in the movie timeline, Doctor Strange has already happened, Civil War's already happened. By the time this drops at the end of the summer, Spider-Man Homecoming will already have dropped. But because all the outdoor sequences they've been filming are in Hawaii, maybe that's where the series is going to take place. Sometimes they just have cities double for other cities wherever they're filming. Like they'll film in Vancouver, but it'll double for some other city. For now, I'm just going to assume that it mostly takes place in Hawaii, but obviously Atalan stuff looks like it's going to take place on the moon. But as far as I know, there's no Coulson in episode 1, there's no S.H.I.E.L.D. characters, it's 8 episodes, maybe if it does well they'll do 13 in season 2, but I think the reason they're doing fewer episodes is because the special effects budget is so high and they want to be able to do crazy powers as opposed to like S.H.I.E.L.D. that has to work around that. You don't see a lot of special effects on S.H.I.E.L.D. beyond stuff like Ghost Rider, but we'll see what they do. He's actually coming back in the finale. But what's happening is the first 2 episodes are airing in IMAX theaters September 1st, and then the rest of the episodes will start airing September 26th on ABC. That's the same network that airs Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is going to be a Tuesday night show. You know Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. airs on Tuesday nights at 10 p.m., so I don't know what time this is going to be on. I don't know how that's going to interact with everything else. It's going to be crazy because Flash is on Tuesday nights, so we'll figure the schedule out when we get there. No worries. But I'm a little pissed off that like everybody decides to drop their new comic book TV show on Tuesday nights. It was bad enough when they moved Legends of Tomorrow to Tuesday nights. So if you know somebody that works at a TV network, just tell them that you can't put every comic book TV show on every different network on the same night. It just, people won't be able to watch everything. It's going to take them all week to get through it. But as crazy as all that is, like the only complaints that I have is just the way that they did this teaser poster does not do these characters credit. It will look a lot cooler, but they haven't added any special effects to this. People are worried about Medusa's hair, just looks kind of weird. Where's Black Bolt's little tuning fork that helps him harness his powers on his forehead? That might be CG too. Who knows if he wears a mask like he does in the comics? There's just a lot that this doesn't tell you. But I am really excited about Ramsay Bolton being the villain of this series. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm not super familiar with anybody besides Ken Leung, but I think he'll be a lot of fun as Karnak, and the other actors seem like they're pretty cool too. I think there are a lot of points of failure with this, mostly just because they're not super popular characters, but I think if they can bring a big enough spectacle, people will get really excited about it. And if there's any special bonus videos that you guys want me to do for this, just let me know in the comments. But because this series is dropping right after Comic-Con happens, they'll probably drop the first real trailer way before that, so you shouldn't have to wait too long for that. My next video is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy 2 post-credits, but yesterday was super crazy, so if you think you missed a couple things that I posted, go to my videos tab just to double check. Everything will be right up here at the top. Congratulations to Wolfrex, you're the latest Guardians of the Galaxy giveaway winner. Please private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. While you wait for new Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm doing a post-credits video. You can click here for the Defenders trailer, and you can click here for my review of Guardians of the Galaxy. Thank you so much for watching. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.